Being a communicator is a trait that you use throughout your life, from job interviews to connecting with family and friends. It's important to be able to effectively carry out that message. Well, joining us now is WRAL anchor and author Chris Lovingood to tell us all about a new book, Be Genuine, Becoming a Better Communicator. Chris, great to have you on the program this morning. So what was the impetus behind writing this book?
So the pandemic started, right, and I needed something to do. But it's been a topic I've always wanted to write about for a while. And in the opening chapter, when I worked in Florida, there was what we might dub as a Florida man story that unfolded. And someone who I interviewed, they talked to me, and you're wondering, why in the world would someone talk to me about this particular thing that happened? I'm trying not to spoil it for those of you who want to read it.
Exactly.
But when I eventually found this person and I interviewed them, I touched back with them maybe 5 years after the fact, and I said, why did you talk to me about that particular story? It was like this wild, car crash and all the whole thing. And they said, I just felt like you were genuine. I felt like when I talked to you, that was it. And that's why I decided to be genuine.
So that term, being genuine, what does that mean to you?
And that is what we dive into in the book. So if you look at it, the word conversational is crossed out on the book, as you can see here. How many times have we been told when we start in broadcasting, we'll just be conversational when you talk? What does that mean, right?
Exactly.
Like, there are so many different conversations. If someone stole $1,500 from you, having a conversation with that person is going to sound much different than Kid Smith just won the lottery, $10 billion, right? So when you're genuine, when you're your actual self, your authentic self, that is what we dive into, and it explores, why do you care about what you're doing? When you're about to communicate a message, what is it about that thing, that message that you're talking about, that makes you want to talk about it? What does it mean to have charisma? And that's the stuff that we dive into in the book.
And the thing is, I'm so glad you brought that up, because so often as we get older, we're beginning to get comfortable in our skin. And I think that's the key to being genuine.
And that's what this book is for. So, the book is for, so this is what I call the blue flavor. This is for the standard one for anyone. And essentially with this book, it's for anyone maybe who works in PR, or maybe you're a project manager and you're wanting to better communicate with your subordinates or what have you. But the one that you're holding, the journalist edition, is more for someone who's maybe a fresh out of college reporter who really wants to understand the intricacies of what it means before I go into that interview. Because with us, yes, our job is to go and get these interviews. But at the same time, when we're talking with people who's been affected, let's say maybe a house burns down, or maybe someone has their SUV stolen from them, this is someone from our community. And that's why whenever I talk to students or classes I go to, I say, I am a human first and I am a journalist second, every time, because I am okay with losing that interview if someone just emotionally at that moment can't handle it.
What do you think we have such a difficult time speaking effectively and being genuine?
I think you already said it when we talk about we're getting comfortable, right? When you're with someone for so many years, maybe you're a spouse or someone you're dating or what have you, you're kind of set in motion with the things you're normally with, and so you may not think about how what you're saying could affect them, or maybe something you said maybe anger them in some way, and you weren't thinking about it because, well, this is just how I normally do it. This book helps you kind of rethink and go, okay, well, maybe something I said maybe landed a way I didn't perceive, or maybe I tweeted or I said something thinking it was going to be one way, which is one chapter, expectation versus reality, where you intend it to be some way, but the reality of it was interpreted much differently.
Sometimes those conversations get lost in translation. The book is called Be Genuine. My colleague Chris Lovingood wrote this book. It's a quick read, an enjoyable read, and an informative read. We appreciate you coming in this morning.
You can order it on www.chrislovingood.com.